You ever had a morning where the air feels too quiet, the lake too still, like the world's holding its breath before everything goes sideways? That's how it started the day Patricia Gray threatened to bury me under my own lake. Yeah, her words, not mine. I'm not the sort to make enemies on purpose. But when someone tries to sell the last piece of your life you care about, you learn fast who you're up against. Picture this. My wife Emily always dreamed we'd buy a ranch with a fishing lake and grow old together. She'd sit with me, flipping through travel magazines, pointing to little patches of blue water and saying, "Someday, Marcus, that'll be ours." Life, as it turns out, had other plans. A drunk driver ran a light, and just like that, my world split wide open. Sold the house, quit the city, bought this 5-acre patch with the 2-acre lake Emily loved in those old magazine clippings. Because when you lose your person, sometimes all you can do is try to hang on to the dream. That lake became my sanctuary, me and Duke, my golden retriever. A parting gift from Emily 2 weeks before she died. We found peace here, far enough out to escape the city, close enough to town for the basics. For a while it was just us, the willows by the water, a porch swing, a fishing rod, and the ghost of her laughter in the breeze. Then Patricia showed up. You know, the type city, sharp, all angles and ambition, instantly declaring herself president of the Meadowbrook Women's Association. There's only 20 homes in this stretch, so the title's about as real as the plans she started waving around. Modernize, develop, eco-resort, this community investment that she'd chase people at the grocery store, fake smile never dropping, talking up job opportunities like she was running for mayor. At first I figured she was just loud. But soon as I heard the whispers about how Patricia'd run from the city real estate license, yanked forging signatures, debts with people you do not want to owe, I knew she wasn't just annoying. She was dangerous. Her vision was Patricia Lake Eco Resort, starring, you guessed it, my private lake as the centerpiece. She calculated it could make her millions. Problem was, the lake wasn't for sale. Not that a little detail like that ever stopped her. Monday morning, my phone blows up, over 50 missed calls by 7 a.m. People asking if I'll take $60,000 cash for the lake, saying they're flying in from California. I check online, and there it is. Patricia's listing my lake for sale, complete with drone shots and "Contact Patricia Gray" authorized rep plastered all over. I storm over to her place, Duke at my side, ready to give her a piece of my mind. She's watering her roses, real calm. "Oh, Marcus, don't be dramatic. I'm just helping the community realize its potential." I tell her it's my private property. She laughs, says property lines out here are ambiguous, that maybe I'm squatting on public land. Her hands behind her back on her phone, and suddenly she's shrieking, "Don't hit me, help," and dials 911 before I can even blink. Next thing I know, 4 cops show up, hands on their weapons, and Patricia's wailing that I threatened her. If it weren't for Mrs. Henderson's security cameras catching everything, I'd probably be telling this story from jail. The cops see the footage, me just standing there while Patricia throws herself on the ground, and the sergeant warns her about filing false reports. She glares at me, but it's clear she's not done. She needs money, and she thinks my lake is her golden ticket. Now I spent 15 years as a real estate appraiser. I know all the dirty tricks, easements, ghost parcels, survey errors. Nobody but an old-timer notices. That night I dig out every map, every deed, every record. I've got coffee in hand, Duke by my feet. Patricia's got investors touring the property, showing off brochures with my lake photoshopped full of cabins, setting up preview parties with champagne on her lawn. I spot my neighbor Thomas, the old-timer who's lived here forever, and when I tell him what Patricia's doing, his face goes dark. "Worst thieves wear the nicest clothes," he mutters. "We've got your back, Marcus." At 2:00 a.m. on the third night, eyes gritty, I find it a 75 square meter sliver of land, marked Plot X unnumbered, sandwiched between Patricia's lot and my lake. Turns out nobody's owned it in 37 years. The last guy died without heirs. The county never claimed it. Without that plot, Patricia's only road to the lake is through 2 miles of protected wetlands. I double-check every record, then show up at the county office at dawn. "Can I buy it?" I ask Rita, the clerk. She says it's got to go to auction, so I play along. Patricia hears about the auction that afternoon. She tries to fish for info at the grocery store, eyes sharp as razors. "Just tidying up boundaries," I say, casual as can be. I bring in William Johnson, retired drama professor, to play a mystery developer at the auction. We stage a bidding war. Patricia's sweating bullets and ends up dropping 10 grand on a useless strip of dirt. Meanwhile, I quietly pick up Plot Y on the other side of her road for $800. She's got the lock, I've got the key, but without both pieces, neither of us gets lake access. My turn to have the last laugh. At sunrise, Jake Morrison's crew rolls in 3 trucks, steel post chain link concrete. We build a fence on Plot Y, 8 feet high, topped with security cameras and no trespassing signs every 20 feet. Patricia wakes up to the sound of drills and engines, storms out in her bathrobe, shrieking that I can't block her access. "I own this plot, Patricia," I tell her, deed in hand. "You bought a $10,000 sidewalk to nowhere." When her investors show up that morning, hedge fund guys, property developers, the whole lot, they see a fortress where a lake view was supposed to be. One by one, they turn on her, demanding their deposits back, threatening lawsuits, calling the FBI. Patricia's frozen, pale as the moon. I walk up, holding Duke by the collar, and explain it plain. She owns a strip that leads nowhere. I own the only road to the lake. If you want to swim better, bring a helicopter. Investors stomp off, cussing and slamming car doors, and Patricia stands there humiliated, knowing she's lost the upper hand. But desperate people don't go down easy. Next morning, cops roll up. Patricia's bandaged her arm, dragged a nervous neighbor named Jeremy along to claim I assaulted her. I invite the officers inside, pull up the security footage, shows Patricia scraping her own arm on the fence, Jeremy nowhere in sight. When the cops ask, Jeremy cracks, confesses. Patricia offered him $5 grand to back her up. Patricia's arrested for filing a false police report, but gets out on bail that same afternoon, just in time to launch a social media smear campaign painting me as a dangerous maniac. Suddenly my phone's blowing up, reporters, neighbors, threats from people who buy her story. But I learned a long time ago, never argue with a liar on their turf. So I put together a dossier, her mugshots, her scam posts, security videos, police reports, testimonials from her victims in 3 states. I post the whole truth online. It goes viral in hours, and suddenly Patricia's the one getting death threats, calls from angry investors, and finally the FBI's attention. Patricia tries to run, but she can't. Her reputation's shot. Her bank account's frozen. Her car repossessed her house. The fraud house goes up for sale at a fire sale price, but nobody will touch it. The community votes to ban her from all events. Her name becomes a punchline, and she's left with nothing. The courtroom is packed when she's finally put on trial. The evidence is overwhelming: security footage, investor testimonies. Even Duke makes a cameo as the prosecutor details her attempt to poison him when she couldn't get her way. The jury finds her guilty on every count: fraud, harassment, animal cruelty. The judge throws the book at her: 18 years in federal prison, $317,000 restitution. She collapses, defeated at last. A month later, we have the community barbecue, neighbors' laughter, peace restored. Duke chases butterflies, the lake sparkles in the evening sun. I keep my promise to Emily. Our dream safe, her memory alive in every ripple of water. Sometimes justice comes in the form of prison bars and court orders. Sometimes it's just a dog and his person fishing by the lake, knowing they stood up for what matters. So that's my story, how Patricia tried to steal my lake and ended up losing everything. You ever dealt with a neighbor from hell? How'd you handle it? Drop your story in the comments. I read every one, and trust me, there's more drama out there than you'd believe. Sometimes the best revenge is just protecting what's yours. See you next time. And if this made you feel better about your own problems, well, mission accomplished.